What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Bluebird Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, former unified Mexican heavyweight world champion Andy Ruiz Jr. has been reported and linked to a possible showdown in the spring with once beaten British heavyweight contender Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte. Eddie Hearn made it public that he has offered Andy Ruiz Jr. a seven-figure payday. And what Eddie Hearn stated, Eddie Hearn is MATCHROOM CEO and promoter of Dillian Whyte, Anthony Joshua, so on and so forth, right? He said that he made him a high seven-figure offer to face Dillian Whyte. Eddie Hearn was spotted on Andy Ruiz Jr.'s social media as Andy Ruiz put up a post stating that who should he fight next? He can't wait to get back in the ring. He's back in the lab, back in the boxing gym, honing his craft, and he can't wait to get back in the ring. He asked his fans, who should he fight next? With that said, Eddie Hearn was spotted on his social media platform in the comment section saying, fight Dillian Whyte, fight Dillian Whyte. After that, Eddie Hearn stated that he offered Andy Ruiz Jr., he sent Andy Ruiz Jr. a contract in which it's a high seven-figure deal to fight Dillian Whyte, right? Now, Eddie Hearn has since come out today and he stated that Andy Ruiz believes he's worth more than the offer we made him and he wants a higher figure to fight Dillian Whyte. He says that he believes that he may be a little spoiled after receiving $5 million, that's $7 million deal, to fight Anthony Joshua the first fight, and having an eight-figure deal to fight Anthony Joshua in the rematch. So he's saying that he believes that it's going to take a lot more, maybe an eight-figure deal to fight Dillian Whyte. Maybe it's $10 million that Andy Ruiz Jr. wants. You offer again, no disrespect to Mikey Garcia, four-division Mexican superstar boxer, but Mikey Garcia stated that Mikey Garcia is reported to be making a seven-figure payday to face off against Jesse Vargas, and that's not a high-profile fight. If Andy Ruiz Jr. gets back in the ring, because there's so much intrigue and there's so much attention will be made when Andy Ruiz makes his ring return to see just how he looks. Everybody's going to be curious, right? It's tons of curiosity. So wherever and whoever he fights next is going to draw a lot of attention, right? So it's going to be a big deal when Andy Ruiz steps back in the ring because we want to see if he has rededicated himself to the sport of boxing. So Andy Ruiz Jr. understands that. And he understands he has the skill set to be one of the best heavyweights in the world when he puts his mind to it and dedicates himself to the sport. So Andy Ruiz making an eight-figure payday to fight Anthony Joshua, two high-profile fights. And then remember, he beat Anthony Joshua. Dillian Whyte fought Anthony Joshua, and he was knocked out by Anthony Joshua. Andy Ruiz dropped Anthony Joshua 4 times and stopped him the first time. And he got outpointed the second time, but he never got knocked down and he didn't get knocked out. He got knocked down in the first fight, but he didn't get knocked out, right? So he got up off the canvas to beat him in dramatic fashion. Dillian Whyte was knocked out. So who's going to get the bigger share of the pie? Dillian Whyte or Andy Ruiz? Regardless of how you look at it. See, at this point in time, you can say Andy Ruiz is coming off of a loss, but he's still the one that beat the man to beat the man. So facing Dillian Whyte is still a step up for Dillian Whyte opposed to Andy Ruiz Jr. because he lost to Anthony Joshua, but he also beat Anthony Joshua. Dillian Whyte has never done so. He's a belt holder. Dillian Whyte has never held the belt. He fought for a title. Dillian Whyte has never done so. Not one of the 4 major sanction bodies, right? That the title he fought Anthony Joshua was for a British world title. It's not one of the 4 major sanction bodies. So it's not the WBC, IBF, WBO, or WBA, right? Not even the IBO belt, right? So with that said, Andy Ruiz, is going to be the A side in this fight. And he's going to want to get paid like the A side. And so if you pay Andy Ruiz, Dillian Whyte is not going to look at himself as nothing less than being the A side. And I don't know how he could make that argument, but that's what he's going to do. So he's going to want to get paid heavy. So can they afford to pay Andy Ruiz an 8-figure payday to face Dillian Whyte? They need to, because if you pay Mikey Garcia, 7-figure payday to face Jesse Vargas in a lower profile fight, right? In a 1-fight deal. You could pay Andy Ruiz 8 figures for a high profile fight with Dillian Whyte. It'll be worth his while. So it seems like Andy Ruiz could be looking, because it's being reported that he was paid $12 million for the second Joshua fight, right? So as more than likely, he'll look to come somewhere in between maybe $9 million, $9 to $10 million. 9 is still 7 figures, but if he gets paid $10 million, that's 8 figures, right? It's not exactly what he got paid for Joshua, but it's not, too much of a drop off for his profile, for his services, because that's still a big fight for DAZN and MATCHROOM. That's a huge fight, especially if Andy Ruiz Jr. comes in, in shape, and there's a lot riding on the line. As if Dillian Whyte loses, he's going to lose his position. So there's a lot to gain for Andy Ruiz as well, because he beats Dillian Whyte. He could place himself as the #1 mandatory challenger for the WBC belt, which would see the winner of Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury have to face Andy Ruiz. So that's a good spot for Andy Ruiz to be in, because they'll place him back in the title contention. Yet we know we saw Andy Ruiz come in at 283.6 pounds, 284 pounds, and then it's being reported on fight night he was 302 pounds, right, unofficially. So, a lot of people want to see if he has rededicated himself to the sport. He has very, very quick hands, very, very fast athlete, very quick twitch muscles. I know people don't relate muscle and Andy Ruiz. Those two don't correlate, but he's an athlete, so he has quick twitch muscles. He's fast hands, and I think that he's going to destroy Dillian Whyte. I think he's going to beat Dillian Whyte if he's on his A game. If we see the Andy Ruiz that showed up the first fight with Joshua, he's going to beat Dillian Whyte. If we see Andy Ruiz, even the one we saw against Anthony Joshua, the second fight, is going to give Dillian Whyte all tons of problems, and still going to be a very, very close fight. If Derek Chisora and Joseph Parker could give Dillian Whyte all types of problems, I thought Andy Ruiz beat Joseph Parker. He just got the wrong end of the stick. He was on the wrong end of the stick. He got the short end of the stick against Joseph Parker because he was in Joseph Parker's backyard. Derek Chisora gave Dillian Whyte. I thought Derek Chisora won the first fight, and the second fight he was winning until he got caught with a beautiful hook from Dillian Whyte and knocked out cold. Beautiful knockout of the year, in my opinion, by Dillian Whyte. So with that said, I think that Andy Ruiz's style his quick hands is going to beat Dillian Whyte, and even in him coming in completely out of shape, he wasn't gassed. He just didn't have the mobility to cut the ring off where Anthony Joshua was using the ring and using his feet to get out of harm's way. Andy Ruiz just didn't have the speed because the weight was weighing him down. He was never fatigued. He just couldn't catch up to Anthony Joshua. With that said, Dillian Whyte is not that type of fighter. He's not going to use the ring. He's not going to use foot movement and things of that nature. And he doesn't have the quickest hands. Now, he does have slight power. He does have power, should I say. He doesn't have Joshua, Wilder, that type of power. But he does have power, respectable power, should I say. But he fatigued against Joseph Parker and was nearly knocked out by Joseph Parker. But he knocked Joseph Parker down as well, so he has sneaky power, right? Because he's a very good inside fighter, Dillian Whyte is. But with that said, Andy Ruiz is a better inside fighter than Dillian Whyte, right? And he has a tougher chin, and he has more stamina. He has better stamina. So if he's in shape, this could spell disaster for Dillian Whyte. But this would be a fight I would love to see. My question is, how come Luis King Kong Ortiz is not an option for Dillian Whyte? They have Joseph Parker as reemerged as another option for Dillian Whyte. So this lets us know that Alexander Usyk is more than likely going to face Derek Chisora, because Eddie Hearn is saying that Joseph Parker, Alexander Povetkin, and Andy Ruiz are 3 options for Dillian Whyte. Luis King Kong Ortiz can't get the opportunity. He can't get a shot at Dillian Whyte. Why is that? We know why, but they continue to tell you that Luis King Kong Ortiz is 50 years old and don't have it no more. So let's see how that all plays out. But Andy Ruiz is asking for big money for this Dillian Whyte fight, and for his profile and his namesake, he deserves it, because he will be the A side, and the intrigue and the curiosity and the attention that be paid to that fight, because everybody is going to be curious to see how he returns to the ring, is huge. It's absolutely huge in my opinion. So let's see how this all plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Bluebird Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Bluebird Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.